lot of plays in the first half. Is that just tough to sustain a high level, being out there on the field for so much in the first half?
I mean, absolutely, but that's on us. We got to get off the field. We had some good plays and we had some bad plays, and some penalties kept some drives alive. We just got to be better in that part. And when the time comes, we got to make a play. Obviously today we didn't get it done. The good thing about it is we get another chance next week to go play another good really football team. So looking forward to that.
You left the game. How do you feel physically right now?
I feel good. I mean, obviously I was out all week with an illness, and I lost a bunch of weight, and we try to do everything, to try to get it back, try to get the body back going. And we was on the field for a good amount of time, and being sick and obviously not eating for 4 days. It kind of wears a toll on you, But I did everything I could do to get back in the game. The body just, I couldn't stop cramping, so they didn't want to send me out there, obviously, to start back cramping again.
One of the bright spots, obviously, the touchdown. Can you take us through that play, how it ended up falling in your hands?
Man, just stuff in the pocket. Obviously, it was pretty brave of them to kind of drop back down there, and coach kind of turned us loose and let the boys go rush. So we kind of, we talked about it, not giving him a pocket to step up in, and I was kind of going to balance the rush up, saw the ball pop out, and had a chance to make a play, and got my hands on the ball, and that's what we talked about, getting our hands on the ball.
Fletcher, you talked about penalties last weekend too, and how frustrating they can be. Is there something you can attribute it to? And again, what does it do to the defense when you guys do give up those costly penalties?
We just got to be smart. I know that, as a good teammate, as a leader on this team, I mean, I know as professionals that we'll all get it done. That'll take care of it. We had a lot of penalties that sustained a lot of drives, and we also can't let that be an excuse. But we got time, and we'll just kind of get this game behind us. We got a short week coming up. Like you said, another good football team, and it was just another chance to go out and play.
Did they do anything in terms of on the ground? They ran for a lot of yards in the first half.
I don't even know. I don't even keep up with that. But I mean, they made some plays. They had a good run. They had a good game plan to run the ball. I mean, obviously they were. We were in 2nd and 4, 2nd and 3, and that's one thing we've been known for, stopping the run. So obviously up front, I got to take more control of that. We got to take control of as a defensive line and play on their side of the ball.
Brandon was a major contributor in stopping the run for years. Was it noticeable him not being out there?
I mean, Brandon had surgery today. He was excited. We all talked to him, and we know that he was there. He was there watching. Obviously not there in the field, but he always, played a big part in stopping the run. I mean, it was there today. I mean, they were better than us today. We couldn't get off the field.
Fletcher, you've been through some tough losses through the years here, but what can you impart to the younger guys on this team, from some of those experiences?
You just tell them, the league is week to week. There's going to be highs and there's going to be lows, and obviously the last 2 weeks that, we've had 2 losses in a row. I've been on a 1 and 2 team before when we went on a won some games. We just got to take this one under the chin and do something about it.
One of the other bright spots, Fletch, is Javon, the way he's been playing. Had a big game, 2 sacks again today. Do you notice, you're used to getting all the attention, do you notice opposing teams start to pay attention to Javon as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think he said the other day, pick your poison. Guys get one-on-ones, we got to win them, Obviously, we didn't win enough one-on-ones today because we didn't come away with the win. At the end of the day, stats don't matter, wins do.
What has been how the linebackers have done against the run so far this season?
I mean, I think the first 2, obviously, we played a lot better in the run. I think just overall, we got to just make more plays. It's not, I don't think, it's our group or, any one group. I think just a collective. We got to be better.
What were the issues tonight against the run?
I think just, the first 2 weeks, I think we were in, 2nd and long, 3rd and long, and, good positions. Just, they came out, and when you have those, short 2nd and 3rd downs, it's tough. They obviously, have the advantage in those situations, and, they were able to keep it, kind of the whole game that way.
Because they had so many, 2nd and shorts and everything, how much does that kind of keep you guys guessing as a defense, not exactly knowing if they're going to run or pass?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of – it's the name of the game. I think last week, against San Fran, we did really well. That was a team that, lives kind of in that situation. We were able to keep them out of it, so we kind of controlled the game. And, they took advantage of us the whole night tonight. Obviously was not our night. They played really well, and when you're in those situations, throughout the game, they're gonna, obviously have us, back a little bit.
Coach expressed frustration with the penalties. How do you fix that?
I think Fletch said it the right way. We're pros. Guys are gonna have to. I think everybody on this team knows we got to look in the mirror. I don't think you can point to one person tonight and say, anyone did the right thing to win this game. We got to look in the mirror. We're going to obviously come back real quick. We got Kansas City coming to town, so look in the mirror, take advantage of it, and, have everybody ready to go. It's week 3, so we got a long time to go, and let's, obviously erase those penalties.
The penalty issue, though, is not isolated to tonight. It's been 3 weeks now. What's that a reflection of?
There isn't, I don't think one thing that you can, pin it on, obviously. It's just kind of, I don't even know when the offense gets them, to be honest. And, defensively, I just know we just got to be smarter.
They got over you guys over the top a few times. What were happening in those plays? Was it just too much time in the pocket, or was it just a break?
No, I think it all just comes down to that same situation. I think most of those times we're in second and short or third and short where, they have the opportunity to, we don't know if it's a run or a shot now. If it's second and 10, and they line up in 12 personnel, we know they're maxing up to throw the ball downfield. But when it's, second and 2, second and 3, they kind of get that advantage where if they, play fake, it's going to be, one-on-one or, 2-on-1 down the field.
What was the defensive game plan overall, and kind of the key thing that you guys needed to do that maybe didn't get executed tonight?
Stop the run. I think that's pretty simple. Every game, obviously, especially with our front seven, we think we should be able to stop anybody. So we obviously got to do better at that.
First full game without Brandon. He's such a big part of the first level, stopping the run, setting the edge. Was it noticeable to you guys that he was not out?
We talked to him before. Obviously, he's a big leader out there. And it's just, I haven't watched it yet, so I can't, say how those guys played, because I believe in all those guys in that room with everything, and no matter what, those are the guys that are going to be lining up every week. So, until we see it, I'm not too worried. It wasn't that edge attack like we've had the last few weeks. It was more downhill, so more on us than ever with than the edge guys.
Alex, Fletch had mentioned that too, that you guys talked to Brandon before the game. Was it on like a video screen or FaceTime, or how did that?
Just some guys talked to him. It wasn't, I think, he's having surgery soon, so it was more just, him just reaching out, I think, to everybody as fast as he could. Anyone that knows BG know, the most positive dude. I'm sure when we get on this bus, he'll be calling everybody again just to keep the spirits high. Because like I said, it's week 3. We got a long season to go. If we're gonna hang on this, it'll kill us. And if we just move on, get ready, and Kansas City's coming to town, and obviously no one's feeling sorry for us. So it's time to buckle down and go play football.
You said the game plan was to kind of felt like they keep pace with the high-powered offense, so that you guys would kind of match them. What went wrong? Why couldn't you guys do that?
It sounds obvious, but you can't have 1st and 20s, 1st and 15s in the NFL. You can't be just like they're too good of a football team to play behind the sticks, have 3 and outs, and put our defense in just bad situations over and over. So on offense, we just got to be efficient on 1st and 2nd down, not have penalties, and keep it in 3rd and manageable. And a lot of it just comes down to focusing on the small details as an offense. And I know it's cliche, but you just got to get back to the basics and be efficient on 1st and 2nd down so you can have sustainable drives. And it just felt like in the first half it was 3 and out after 3 and out after 3 and out. And I don't know what the exact numbers were, but we just couldn't stay on the field in the first half. And it's hard to get in a rhythm. You start playing from behind, they have a lead at that point, and you just start playing catch up. And we just got to get ahead of the chains.
What was this week like for you, and how did it impact?
It was a interesting week, obviously. Tested positive after the game on Sunday, was negative by Thursday. And so it was weird. By the numbers on Sunday, gave them an inclination that I was going to be able to play. But it was just terrible sitting at home, nothing you could control, didn't have any symptoms, so it was just bizarre.
Zach, you mentioned you referenced penalties in your first answer as one of the vets on the team. how do you guys issue those self-corrections so you don't keep up this pace of penalties in 3 games?
I mean, you just have to look yourself in the mirror. I mean, there's a mirror test for a reason, and each and every guy on this team, not only on offense, but defense, coaches, everyone's got to look in the mirror and say, how can I be better? And if we all do that, there will be improvement. I mean, we have to hold each other accountable in that regard. It's not like you just act like they don't happen and move on. You got to figure out the why. I mean, on the third down that IFAL started, it's 3rd and 3, and we put ourselves in a 3rd and 8 situation. Jalen and Quez make up for my mistake, but 3rd and 3 is manageable in this league. You can be in 3rd and 3. 3rd and 8, you start to get in tougher situations. And so for me, it's just locking in on a snap count. Simple as that. And I got to look myself in the mirror and say, why did this happen? And each and every person that had a penalty, whether it be man downfield, whether it be holding, whether it be false start on offense, those are things that you just have to correct. I mean, as simple as that. We just can't be in 1st and 15s and expect to be successful in this league.
I assume you'd agree that you and Goddard are two of the top tight ends in the league as a combination. The two of you have 15 combined catches this year. Are you guys getting the tight ends involved the way you think you need to?
I mean, that's not a question for me, obviously. We all want to be on the field. I want to be on the field every play. That's just a matter of fact. Dallas wants to be on the field every play. That's just the way both of us are wired. There's a game plan that the coaches feel like is the best chance for the team, the Philadelphia Eagles, to win. And I'm doing the best I can each and every time I have to step out there to put wins on tape. And I can't control where the ball goes. I can't control how much I'm on the field. And I want to be on the field. I want to be on the field on 3rd down. I want to be on the field in the red zone. But I can't control that. And I've done this for a long time. I feel great. My ankle feels great. And so all that stuff is behind me. And, yeah, I want to be on the field, but I trust the coaching staff. I love the coaching staff. I love Jason Michael. I love Nick. I love Shane. And they feel like they're doing what's best for the Philadelphia Eagles, not what's best for me.
Zach, but imagine you've been around long enough that you've had seasons where 3 games in, you get a good sense of what kind of team you guys are and can be.
Yeah.
Over the course. What kind of sense do you have about where you guys are at right now?
I mean, it's still early. It's still early. We're still young. And so we just got to grow up fast. I mean, it doesn't get any easier, obviously, this week's with the Chiefs. But I feel like we can have a dynamic running game if we're playing ahead of the sticks. We can have a dynamic passing game if we're playing on time and in rhythm. And we just got to put together 60 minutes as an offense. The Atlanta game, I think, was a glimpse of what we could be on offense, but the past 2 games we just have not played well, and that's just a matter of fact, and we got to be better. And it starts on the practice field each and every week. You can't be a team in the NFL that just goes through the motions at practice and expect things to change. And the way we practice, I'm confident that we're going to be able to change things because how we practice. We practice hard, and it's from the vet setting the standards in practice what the standards are. And we're going to improve. I mean, it's week 3, 1-2. Dallas is 2-1. But I got confidence in the team. I mean, we got a lot of talent on offense that's played a lot of football games. Obviously, you miss B, but, I mean, Lane, me, myself, Kelce. Dallas has played a lot of football. G. Ward, Quez, Smitty is freaking unbelievable. Jalen's 23 years old. Everyone's acting like this is his fault. Jalen is a great player. He's going to be a great player for a long time in this league. And so as an offense, we got to all play up to our ability, and everything will be all right.
When you step back and look at the big picture, though, and you mentioned that Jalen's young, do you also take into account first-time head coach, new schemes, all that, or are you in it just looking at it that you want to win every game, or do you put things in that kind of perspective that maybe this is inevitable?
No, this isn't. I mean, the standards in this city are what they are. We know exactly what the standards are. It doesn't matter who's at quarterback. It doesn't matter who's at coach. It doesn't matter who's at tight end, center, right tackle. The standards are what they are, and that's to win football games. It doesn't matter who's in those positions. It doesn't matter who's playing 3 technique. The standards are what they are in the city for a reason because that's what the fans deserve. That's what the city deserves. And so there is no excuses to come in here and say we got young players. Everyone's got young players. Everyone's got inexperience at some positions, but we got players that are good football players. And so we got to hold the standards to ourselves each and every time we step on a practice field, every time we step on a game field, that we expect to win the football game. And that's the standards that we have to set for ourselves.
Jalen Hurts just came in here and took accountability and responsibility for this loss, all on him. As a guy who's been around as long as you've been and as a veteran of this team, what does that say to you about him as a leader, and what does that say to you about how following him kind of on offense.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we all know that's not true. Whenever you get beat like that, it's everybody. You know, losses like that don't happen just because of one guy. But that is the way you would expect Jalen Hurts to feel. I mean, bottom line is leaders, really, really good players ultimately feel that they completely control the situation, especially at the quarterback position. So, you know, we got to play much, much better across the board. But that's also the mindset you want Jalen to have, even though it's clearly not the case.
Jason, don't you guys have to run the ball more to win games?
I don't know. You know, the run pass comes up every time you're losing games. I feel like, you know, the way the game goes sometimes with, you know, we had a lot of penalties. You're in a lot of long situations where you're trying to pick up huge chunks. You know, we're behind in the score quite a bit. A lot of that dictates it. And we had a lot of, you know, RPOs called that ended up getting thrown, but could have easily been handed off if the defense dictated it. So, you know, I try to, you know, not really think about that. My job's to execute the play called, you know, and, you know, I think that's what my job is. So,
How were things up front with two new guys, basically?
yeah, I mean, Landon's getting his first start as a rookie. You know, Herbie coming in halfway through the game. I thought Dre going in there, filling in for Jordan. So, you know, we got to be better up front, myself included. I think that, you know, everybody went out there and battled and fought, and we'll be able to go watch the tape and, you know, get better.
What were the emotions like for you when you saw Isaac get carted off?
Yeah, it was tough. You know, it's a guy that's been really underappreciated for a long time. He does a lot for our room, our unit. He's a special player, a special person. So, you know, he's having a great year, and I know he'll bounce back and be a tremendous player again. But yeah, it was hard to watch him get carted off the field.
You guys good? You know, you have seen so many offensive linemen go down over the past couple of years.
Yeah.
I mean, just like, what is that like going through that on a week-in, week-out basis?
Well, you know, it's the business. That's the sport. You know, especially offensive line. You know, it's a physical position, man. You know, bodies are falling all over the place. You know, it's, you know, what do they say? The injury rate in the NFL is 100%. You know, so you know, you just, I mean, it is what it is, and I think Stout does a tremendous job, and part of this is because of, you know, his time in college and having to develop players, of getting guys able to come in and play in the game and be ready. You know, obviously, you know, I wish Brandon and Isaac and, you know, Jordan were healthy, but you don't get that. You know, you get what you get, and I'm happy to go out there with the guys that I have out there, and you know, it's an opportunity to go out there and play ball together, and now we'll be able to watch the tape, get better, and get ready for the Chiefs.
And with Isaac, I know you talked about it before, but what is it that we don't understand, that we don't see about Isaac?
You know, he's just, you know, he's a very smart player. He's a very, you know, he's a very detailed player. You know, everybody has their personality and their traits that, you know, makes them unique. And, you know, that guy's you know, you can tell this means a lot to him. You know, he sacrifices and does his best to make other players better and to help other players out. You know, no man is an island. You must draw your strengths for others. You know, I just feel like he's a guy that's never really got the credit he's been due for how good he truly is as a player, as a teammate. So, you know, I felt like he was finally getting that this year. But anyways.